right, good morning everybody. This is Rabbi Kolakowski, Once the Rebbe, responding to more questions from Quora. And Craig Hamilton asks a great question. Are there distinctions of Noahide kinds? I am a Noahide that has studied with several Orthodox rabbis. I asked if I have Torah, and the rabbi confirmed I do. However, I have no desire to convert, and I am not a ger toshav because I don't live in Israel. So first of all, it's an excellent question because there's a lot of misunderstanding and even some, actually, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but some somewhat cultish activity that goes on around these various terms. And these are really very simple things that really should not be. People want to make a mountain out of a molehill. And we shouldn't be doing that because it can bring about a lot of problems. And the idea of keep it simple, the KISS method, is very important in general with all of these things. So simply speaking, within the words of our sages, within Chazal, the term B'nai Noach doesn't mean really how we use it today, Noahide, that we to refer to someone who necessarily is a believer, but rather it's talking about all non-Jewish people are B'nai Noach. That's essentially what it is. Beyond that, so within those realms, we have Akum, we have idolaters, we have Hasidei Umos Ha'olam, we have righteous Gentiles, and then you have the Ger Toshav, which is the resident alien, like in the resident stranger in the Holy Land, someone who kind of they have their green card, but they're not. They have no intention of becoming a citizen in the Holy Land. So you're correct that the term Ger Toshav only applies in the Holy Land. It doesn't apply outside the Holy Land. Furthermore, according to most opinions, it only applies when the Yovel is Nohek, when the Jubilee year is active, meaning we have the sabbatical year every 7 years. We do not celebrate the Jubilee year every 50 years, and we haven't really since the time of before Hezekiah, when the time of King Hezekiah, Chizkiyahu Melech, when Sennacherib took away the 10 lost tribes. Once that happened, we no longer celebrated the Jubilee, because in order to celebrate the Jubilee, we are required to have the majority of the Israelite people in the Holy Land. And so there is no Jubilee currently, and therefore since there's no Jubilee, there is no Ger Toshav according to most of the opinions. Meaning simply because we don't have the jurisdiction to make those types of decisions. Even in the Holy Land, we are an exiled people, and we're not in control of the Holy Land, even though they're making claims. Even the Second Commonwealth, and certainly this, is not a Commonwealth. It's nothing. This so-called state of Israel, it's worse than nothing. It's heretical. But nonetheless, that's the differences. So as far as the different types of the B'nai Noach, we have also in the Rambam, in Maimonides, a discussion of who is Hasidei Umos Ha'olam. Hasidei Umos Ha'olam, the righteous Gentile, is someone who believes in the Torah the way we Orthodox Jews believe. And he believes so because Moses revealed it at Sinai. And that's what's called the righteous Gentile, or the pious Gentile. I've seen some people use the term Hasidic Gentiles, not Hasidic in the sense of following the Baal Shem Tov, but Hasidic in the sense of piety, which it's a cute term, and it's I've seen some people say it's not really a good term to use, but I I think it's a good term to use personally, because that's the Hasidic comes from the word Hasidim, Chasidei Umos Ha'olam, in this sense. And then the Rambam describes there are people who are wise people, who are Chachamim, although there's different versions where the Rambam says that they are or are not, but nonetheless, that if someone out of wisdom lives a righteous lifestyle, that would be Mechachamehem, that would be from their wise people, but it's not an act of piety or righteousness because it's not out of religious devotion. And then there are idolaters, or otherwise people who don't live in the proper way, and they wantonly violate these laws. That would still be under the rubric of what we would say in Chazal, B'nai Noach. They are the sons of Noah. They are Noahides, but in our modern parlance, the term Noahide would generally be used really only for those that we would call, that the Rambam would call Chasidei Umos Ha'olam, that Maimonides calls the pious among the nations, what we might want to call Hasidic Gentiles. Those are really the only ones that would be in the modern parlance called Noahide. And then we also have this idea of the Ger Toshav. There are those who say that Batei Din should accept people as Gerei Toshav, even though there is no din of Ger Toshav today. And one could do such a thing, make a statement in front of the Beis Din that they accept upon themselves the same thing, not to violate, not to worship idols, and that they basically are living as the Ger Toshav would live. If one wishes to do that, I don't see a problem with it. I know some rabbis I respect who do accept Gerei Toshav, but personally, I think it's kind of unnecessary to do so. Now, as far as keeping more than the 7 commandments, one has the ability to do so, and of course, they should do so with talking to their own rabbi as far as what they should or should not do. But that's not really as far as a category. But the one thing that the non-Jew can do as a devotion to our God, which a Jew could not do, is offer a sacrifice on a personal altar, on a bama. That's what we would call a high place, because the prohibition against the high places, first of all, didn't exist before the temple was built, and then once the temple was built, it's only a prohibition for the Israelite, for the Jew, to have the bama, to have the high place. But you yourself, as a Gentile who's devoted to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Noah, the Creator God, you are allowed to build an altar in your backyard and offer sacrifices to it. Or if you would make some kind of a community, you also are allowed to build an altar to offer sacrifices if that is something that appeals to you. It's not necessary, and obviously, these days it's not really customary to do so, and might look a little strange in certain communities. And everyone can do things on their own way. However, the only offering that can be made is the burnt offering, not the peace offering that is eaten by the one bringing the offering. But if you would want to offer a burnt offering to God, you are welcome to do so, just like Noah did, and just like Job did, and other people in the Bible. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you all later.
Sort of neat again, and people laughed at Reagan, right? And now everyone
All right,
understands
turn
that
this off.
AI was actually a smart thing. How long does